Okay, lads, okay, come on. MashaAllah, we've got a very, very, very special guest all the way from Manchester by the name of Suleiman, an orthodox Jewish brother of ours, of humanity. He's come here specially to give a message to our audience today. You will not get many of these opportunities. Get your mobiles, get your videos, get your photos. These should go viral to show that this is not about Islam versus Judaism. Far from that, Muslims and Jews are united against a Zionist state that is Israel. And this is the proof from Suleiman.
A big round of applause!
Salam alaikum. With God's help, I will say the right words. I didn't have a speech prepared. I have not much experience giving talks about this. It's from my heart, and as a observant Jew, I have to care about other people. It doesn't matter Jewish, not Jewish. I have to be compassionate towards everybody. People need to know that Zionism is not just a cult; it's a satanic cult that was designed. It doesn't even come from Jews. The so-called founders, Herzl, were working on behalf of certain, I don't want to say which country, but it can be worked out very easily. Certain imperialists, leaders wanted to use and abuse the Jews to establish a geopolitical military base in the Middle East called Israel to take advantage of the Jews and have this base in the Middle East there. It can be traced back to even before Lord Balfour, Shaftesbury, Palmerston, Cecil Rhodes, certain imperialists of a certain Western country, right? This expression, a satanic cult. I'll tell you a source that no one can argue with. One of our biggest rabbis, the top 5 Jewish scholars from Europe of about 100 years ago, was called Reb Chaim. Chaim means life, of Brest in, I believe it was Lithuania or White Russia. Right? He said Judaism and so-called religious Judaism means Jews who think somehow in some twisted way to be an observant Jew and also be pro-Zionist. He said Judaism and so-called Zionism and so-called religious Zionism. He said it's Maaseh Satan. It is the work of Satan. And no Jew with a black hat can deny that he was the top, even possibly 2 or 3 religious scholars of 100 years ago from Europe. Reb Chaim Bristler, Chaim, Bristler from the town of Brist. So, you know, I've only been religious 30 years. I come from a secular Jewish family. I studied not far from here engineering. I studied at Lancaster University in 1989. My parents were not religious, but they were spiritual. They were compassionate towards everybody. They didn't have this Zionist, racist type of ideology. And my issue with BAE, you know, I have no problem to sell 1,000 iron domes, but especially first to Palestinians, that can only be used for defensive. But don't sell weapons that allow Jews to use for attacking, for offensive measures. You can sell 1,000 iron domes that can only use to stop the freedom fighter attacks and the revenge attacks, the so-called terrorist attacks. You know, I tell people the bomb in Manchester, okay, bomb Manchester, it was wicked, right? But technically, to call it a terrorist attack is forgetting the cause. Certain, not the regular British people, but certain people controlling our politicians. They led British Army and America and France into destroying Libya. And one person does a bomb in Manchester. Okay, it's terrible. Lots of people got killed. But look what happened to Libya. It was wicked, but it was collective revenge. It was caused by the actions in another country. You can't, a country cannot destroy another country and expect nothing to happen. No backlash of this. To use the word terrorist, it just hides the root of the problem. To throw around the word terrorist. People are terrorized, yeah, but Palestinians are being terrorized every day, not just now. They're terrorized every day. Terrorism isn't just bombs, it's also suppressing a people is terrorizing people. The Palestinians are terrorized every day. Jews and Palestinians used to live side by side until the Zionists started making problems even over 100 years ago in Palestine. Jews lived side by side. There's a letter to the United Nations in 1948 when the Zionists were ready to start their war, saying, just very briefly, half a minute more. There's a letter from Rabbi Bengis, that's Bengis, and Rabbi Dushinsky Rov. Dushinsky is D-U-C-H. Basically, there were two of the top 3 or 4 rabbis of Jerusalem, of Al-Quds, in 1948. To the United Nations, they said that Jews and Palestinians used to live peacefully in Palestine before the Zionists came along. They are the root of the fighting, is the Zionist movement. And he said that even the Palestinian Arabs would have been happy to take lots of refugees escaping Europe during the war. And why was that channel blocked? Because the Zionists were busy trying to take over the place, and they caused animosity. The Palestinian Arabs themselves were being happy to save refugees, just as lots of other Muslims in European countries also actually rescued Jews from Nazis. There's many cases of Muslims rescuing Jews during the war. So the Zionism caused all this trouble and bloodshed, and Zionism is a satanic cult created by certain imperialists. It's not from Judaism. Today, a lot of Jews, the reason there's not enormous numbers of Jews coming to these demonstrations is a lot of intimidation in the community, and there's been a lot of emotional blackmailing over the last few decades of Zionist propaganda saying the fact is now there are a lot of Jews being manipulated to live in the Zionist state, and it is, yes, a dangerous situation, so to wash our so-called dirty laundry in public is somehow putting them in danger. So a lot of Jews have been intimidated into not making a public statement. But I know there's virtually no Jew with a black hat, and for want of a better way of simplifying the situation, there's no very orthodox Jew who would ever say they were Zionist for any money. They would